My name is Charles Moser. I'm the managing partner for the Dental Science Alliance, and I am super thrilled today to have with me Kara Kelly. Now, Kara Kelly is a coach for the Dental Science Alliance, and her area of expertise is HR. The first question I have for you would be, what are the most common mistakes that you see dental owners make, and AKA, what kind of coaching have you given people in the Dental Science Alliance to these most common questions?
So the most common question that I see a lot of dental practice owners and leaders in general making is not paying attention to what's important to their practice from the HR side. There is so much compliance out there for dental practices. You have your state boards, you've got your HIPAA and OSHA and cybersecurity and all of the things that we have to pay attention to now. HR tends to get left to the back burner. And I can say this from 13 years of experience now of working with anything from startups and acquisitions all the way to practices that have been practicing for 30 plus years, that they're still doing things that in my world, in HR world, it's kind of common knowledge. Things like paying for training time for your team or not telling your team they can't discuss their pay. Even something simple like having your team clock in and out. I've worked with practices that have been in practice for decades and they're just paying everybody a flat salary and not having people use a timesheet.
Okay,
And
wait. I'm going to stop you right there because I know that you just went over that, and the person listening was like, "Well, wait, but I don't know." I mean, she talked about paying people for training, and I know somebody was out there just going,
what
"Well, am I supposed to do that?" Right? So, are owners supposed to pay their team for training, especially if it's like Saturday, Sunday? I'm taking my team to a conference. Do I have to pay them for that?
your non-exempt team members should get paid for training. Under Fair Labor Standards Act, you got Fact Sheet 22 that talks about lectures, meetings, and training programs. Anything that is going to be job related is paid time. There is a huge myth in dentistry that says, well, if I just tell them it's not mandatory, if it's optional, I don't have to pay for their time. And that's not correct. There's actually 4 standards you have to meet for it to be unpaid time. And one of those is job related. Taking a dental team to a dental conference, even on a weekend, is job related, even if it's optional. If you've paid for it, you've paid for their travel, you've paid for their lodging and all the things, you're kind of expecting them to show up, right? So even if you want to call it optional, it's not at that point. It is kind of you're expecting them to go. But regardless, job related is one of those 4 standards. Pay them for time spent in training. If they're going to go play in the exhibit hall, that's different. But if you're actually having them in a training course, time spent in training, you may, depending on if there's an overnight stay where the conference is located and so on, also have to pay for some travel time, depending on when travel occurs and a lot of other things. But this is the kind of stuff that a lot of dental practices completely miss because they just don't know. Or they're like, yeah, but that sounds like that would be expensive. So I'm just going to say that I'll pay for the course and the travel and just they'll just agree to not be paid for that time. Yeah, that's not how that works.
Okay, what about if I bring a team on and I'm doing a training, from 6 to 7 at night, right? It's after hours and everybody's sitting in their own houses, right? And they're on Zoom with me and we're doing some training for that hour. Are they supposed to be paid for that?
Is it job related? Then yes.
What if it's personal growth?
That's the thing. If it's after hours and it's something like, hey, there's a personal growth, there's a financial planning, or some kind of wellness webinar that I'd love for y'all to go after hours, you really don't have to attend. You won't be penalized for it in any way whatsoever. It's not job related, and they're not creating any productive work. So you're not like running reels or doing something that's actually going to be used for the practice. That can be unpaid time. A paint and simp on a Friday evening just to kind of have fun and hang out with the team, that can be unpaid time. It's not job related. It's totally voluntary, presumably. And that's the type of situation that could be unpaid. It's just an offer for them to attend, but it really truly has to be voluntary. It has to be something that they're not in trouble for.